3,343, 3,375. He comes back next year, 4,315. He's already at 1,744 right now. That's in the passing game. Are these Game of Thrones Hall of Fame numbers?
I think they are.
He's been 1,000-yard quarterback. He rushed for 1,000 yards one time in his career since 2020, his rookie year. He rushed for 1,000 yards. He had 899, and then his next output close to that was 735. Touchdown wise, he's had a 20 touchdown season on the ground, 9, 11, 7, 9, 7, and 6. So Jalen Hurts, Hussein Brewer, a lot of TDs. Yeah, it's a lot of handing the ball off isn't passing. Oh boy. So your division mate is in a word of war words with you right now, man. What's going on, Coach Hitter? Over there, vocal as hell with the fingers right now. He's typing away. So he's saying you're not throwing the ball downfield and you handing the ball off on jet sweeps and shit like that. So what do you have to say about that, brother?
Hey man, I can make another video to show you getting hit across the head with bombs if that's what you want. You know what I mean? Remember the last video what happened? You know what I mean? You got your ass whooped in the alley. I'm just saying. What you want? You know what I mean? Type that. Type what you want me to do, and I'll do it. Because I could have swore Dustin Thomas went upside your head a couple of nights ago.
You're dunking on him?
Psst, dunking on him, man. Shit, burning him. Burning them, leaving them in the dust.
So it was Woo Babies or
Woo Baby and Woo Baby Babies.
Or Woo.
Hey man, listen, dog. I don't know what you talking about jet sweeps. Yeah, we hit them across the head with some jet sweeps too. Weak ass defensive ends. Motherfuckers slowing down. I guess they get too old or something.
All right, so that's Jalen Hurts overall, passing the ball and running the ball at a high level. Definitely arguably the number one. So let's go to Lamar Jackson, and we have to dig into him at 2020 as well. So we go 2020 from 2020. Here we go. 4,424 yards. We're not even gonna talk about the back end. We're just gonna say 4,042 touchdowns, 19 picks. 4,021, 51 touchdowns, 22 picks. 3,022, 39 touchdowns. He had 4,000 again and 23, 55 touchdowns. 3,024, 57 touchdowns. 4,025, 58 touchdowns. Last year, 5,000, 56 touchdowns, and he had 1,754 this year. So his best season passing the ball, numbers wise, yards, is 2026. In a run game, let's take a look at him. In 2020, he's been a 1,000-yard rusher. In 2020, he had 943. In 2021, 921. 2022, 1,023, 1,024, and then his numbers dropped tremendously, carries and everything. So he's 79 carries, 25 for 650, 53 carries for 398 in 2026, which was last year. Now looking at those numbers, you saw Hurts, you saw Mar's numbers right now. Who's the better dual threat quarterback in the league right
now? With numbers, it'll be Lamar.
So what's the other half of that? Because you said with numbers.
So yeah, with numbers. If you talking about the it factor, you know what I mean? If you really need to play, and you need something to happen out of nothing, like not a design play, you know what I mean? Just drop back, shit ain't there. You fucking make something out of nothing. You run for 50 yards or something. I think Hurts got that. Lamar got that also with the speed, but you don't use him like that. So that's why, you know what I mean? I think Hurts is still the better dual threat, because I think he could actually hit the home run, or I'm willing to put Hurts in situations that you might not be willing to put Lamar in.
Right. So in a sense of drop back passing and on passing plays, you can go the distance at any time and turn that into a run play versus a passing play, where Lamar's probably more looking to throw the ball than run the ball. I get what you're saying. So and that makes you feel as though that makes Jalen Hurts that much more dangerous as a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, I think Lamar is more polished than passing, because that's what you do. So pretty much in that aspect, Yeah, I think you got him in the passing aspect of the dual threat. But shit, honestly, with the weapons, depending on the weapons that you have, if you can run or just the threat of running that Lamar has with your passing ability, it would probably propel Lamar over Hurts.
So let's talk game stuff that you go through in the game. How often do you see spies on the field when you're playing your games?
Uh, I
Or do
don't,
you even pay attention to
I
it?
don't even pay attention to him, cause man, with that escape artist, man, you run past the motherfuckers.
Yeah, I get it a lot. I get double spies. I see two guys spying me and a guy using over top of it with three. Um, Let me ask you this: if you do see a spy on the field, does that hurt? Does that change anything? Like, do you feel as though the spy slows you down from running the football at all with your quarterback?
Yeah, yeah, but 9 out of 10, man. I'm always looking to pass first. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm always looking at the rush to see where they're coming from. But normally, if they spy me, that means they ain't blitzing me. You know what I mean? And
Right,
they either
right.
using somebody. You know what I mean? Most people use the middle, the linebacker. So if they spy me one linebacker using the other one, I know I'm getting a 4-man rush or a 3-man rush. So I got time to pass the ball. But
Well, this my answer to this will be purely off of the speed of Lamar Jackson. The fact that he was a 96 to start the league off with, and he's now a 99. One spy doesn't affect nothing I do in a run game. I run right by that spy all the time. You have to have Pittsburgh Steelers linebackers to be able to stop me from running past a spy. And even with him having those 96 speed linebackers, 94 speed linebackers running around, I still can run by a spy, not multiple, but a spy. I could go back into the game I played today where I saw two guys on spy. I threw a pick six too. Two guys spying me at middle linebacker, just stuck, standing right next to each other. I mean, like damn near on top of each other. I was throwing a swing pass to a wheel pass to the running back. You know how they throw that shit upfield no matter what. You want to throw it behind and throw it right away. They still throw it upfield, and you got to pick six off of it. I saw those two spies and came back to it and saw the two spies again and was able to move those guys. Like, how often do you move defenses because of your feet, which are the legs of your quarterback?
oh man, all the time, man. Especially when they spy, they actually send they'll send a spy, man, and then I shit drop it to the tight end right in the middle. Um, or man, they'll play on the safety, and then as soon as I give them the illusion that I'm about to run across the line of scrimmage, they'll bring the safety up, then I'll hit them across the head with a bomb.
The Super Bowl titles uh, go into the greatness of the Super Bowl threat, the best two dual threat quarterbacks in the league. Lamar has two, Jalen has one. Both of them has won the big game. Now, I will say this: Jalen Hurts has won an MVP in his Super Bowl win. Lamar has yet to be the reason why we won a Super Bowl.
I want to say that. No, I don't think that matters, man. And the only reason is because I know that the dogs that you had in your backfield, and
Right.
if I remember correctly, you had 2,000-yard backs or 1,500-yard backs, something like that.
Yeah.
You were like a running machine, you know what I mean? And that, just like in real life, that run game and Lamar Jackson, you know what I mean? It helped. So now I don't think that championship should matter when we're talking about this.
I agree with you. I agree with you because during the two back-to-back Super Bowl years of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens team, we led the league in rushing as a team. We had again, you had the both of the Israel twins had 1,500 yards and double-digit touchdowns, and Lamar had somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 yards rushing as well. So we had 3,000-yard running backs in the backfield. That's enough for anybody to be affected by when you play this team. What makes you dangerous as a dual threat quarterback?
Uh, I want to say it's probably my ability to use Hurts in different ways, man. And I mean, we had the design quarterback runs. Um, Probably I might have a design quarterback run that goes outside, man, but we'll cut that shit up the middle. You know what I mean? To take it the distance because people like to overplay shit. You know what I mean? I think that what sets me aside from everybody else. And I know a lot of people talk about the dick ride, like MC Hammer that he's scoring 64 touchdowns, 3,500 yards. Like
A
his
record
ability,
that still haven't been broken yet.
man. I'm trying to do it this year,
You gonna try
but
to break it with Thomas?
yep. Hitter gonna help me. He gonna give me another 10 touchdown game. But
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
man, like just the ability to know what's coming and still can't stop it. You know,
Right. I would say this. You saw it. I mean, year one, two, and three, I was being told Lamar's in the graveyard, trading, all types of shit. You was one of the main ones screaming at. Um, I don't think it's easy. Like Fox going through this transition right now too, trying to transition into, utilizing that type of style of offense with a dual threat quarterback, right?
right.
So you've been doing it for years, Boone. You've been doing this shit since before we thought of a Lamar Jackson, right? Uh, Talk about how that that having that dual threat and pitting the offense behind a dual threat quarterback takes your offense to a different level.
It does, man. But a lot of people think that it's just getting a fast quarterback and doing it. Nah, your lineman got to be a certain type, man. Like a
Hmm.
lot of
Hmm.
like your lineman
Hmm.
got to be a certain. I ain't even gonna say what they got to be. They got to be a certain type, man. You can't
Exactly.
have,
Talk that shit.
yeah,
Franchise
you know what I
guru
mean.
shit. Talk it.
They can't be
Uh huh.
mismatched. You know what I mean. Like, but even with that, man, you have to be disciplined and stay with that. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you,
Right.
yeah, man, I ain't gonna get too much in it, but yeah, it's tough though, man. It's tough, but once you get it, man, like you'll see that shit before your eyes, man. Everything will be clicking.
Right. And I'm following the Cardinals this year because he's transitioning to a that type of team. You got three dogs in the backfield with a dog quarterback that can move the ball, move the chains as well with his feet. So we're watching that transition. And look, he's going through late in season 8. He's going through what I was going through season 1, 2, and 3. Um, I think the hardest thing for me was to incorporate what I usually do in the passing game. I've always been a runner. We always had dog running backs. We always, on top of things. But what I realized though was this: how do I, excuse me, incorporate what the Ravens do in real life to Madden? And the first thing I was doing, I ran their offense, pistol offense, a lot of read options, a lot of, those type of things I tried to do. And what I realized was on this game, all you got to do is do a certain adjustment and you can make that read option one dimensional by handing the ball off to the running back the whole game. So I would waste plays. I would waste downs, which would get me into games where I was losing, where I should have been winning these games. But I'm coming out of possessions, wasting the first 3 plays, or wasting 2 plays and then playing behind the sticks because I'm one dimensional because the read option was taken away from me. The threat of Lamar pulling it and running was taken away from me. So it became, how do I incorporate the Ravens style of play and be able to continue to be good at the game as well. And once we figured it out, Hitter told me, go back to doing you thinking too much and all that. Play how you usually play. So I did. I went back to that, but I got better at running the Ravens offense because of the weapons up and around. Now, of course, it's the weapons that's on the field as well, but it came down to the offensive line, being able to get the right offensive line in. Because the Ravens come on a game with one of the better offensive lines on a game right away.
Right.
We traded those guys fast. Like we have one remaining Raven on the offensive line. He was a rookie coming in with Peterson. And we kicked him down from guard to center. So with that being said, we brought the line in that can, help transition into the type of offense I was really trying to run. And then that receiver, I realized you can't be out here trying to throw the ball to 3 to 4 different receivers and involve everybody. And I wasn't really good at, me. I never really threw to the tight end as much, but their offense was based on throwing to the tight end. So I had to find a way to incorporate that all in one. And once I got it together, it became dangerous to the point where you started to see 3,000-yard rushers, 3,000-yard receivers. You remember that little stretch, about 2 or 3 season stretch of 3,000-yard rushers in the backfield and 3,000-yard receivers running around. And all it did was it opened up the offense to a point where it's at now. Now, I think I asked you the same question I'm about to say. I'm going to ask you a question of what I'm about to say. The fact that you got the weapons now around your quarterback right now. how does that make it easier for your quarterback to be able to do both pass and run?
First off, man, the defense, they can't just focus on me running with the quarterback, or they can't just focus on MC Hammer Daddy. You know what I mean? We have, I think, three to four receivers, man, that they have to game plan for. You know what I mean? Because I hit the tight end. You know what I mean? I hit Favors. I hit, Thomas. So it takes that much pressure off of Hurts.
Right. Now, boom. Being good at doing what you're doing, you've been a dual threat guy in our league for years. Talk about trends. Talk about things that you've trended where, we all talk about, yo, this guy stole my play, he always running my shit, blah 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 blah. But what makes you Boom and us giving you names like the Boom Cat? First of all, talk about the Boom Cat. What is the Boom Cat?
Man, it's the Wildcat, man. Something that people normally never use, and then couple of seasons in, now everybody running it. You know what I mean?
Right. So when you talk about the handoff passes, the jet touch passes and things like that, do you feel like you brought that to the league?
I don't want to say I brought it to the league, man, but I definitely think people probably used it before, but it wasn't successful as it is now. And then people just kind of started back. Oh, that shit work now. So then now they using it. T definitely one of them. Dick Rider.
Wow. Wow. We saw Snake Eyes incorporate, and you was on headset a couple times with us, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go to this offense that's going to be dangerous. And it started from you. Remember me hitting you, asking you, what formation that is with the jet power with the quarterback?
Yeah.
You made that famous. But then that offense was built where we was, you had it started, and before you got to add to it, Snake had conversations with me with that offense. And me running my mouth, I'm gonna do this. Boone does this, but I'm gonna do this off of it. It's not, and then Snake incorporated it to the point where jet sweeps became his entire offense. Jet sweep power, and jet sweep became his entire offense, and he was successful with it. Talk about how football is that. A coach might come out with something, and then another coach takes that and builds off of that. And talk about how important that is in Madden as well.
It's definitely important, man, because we always say it's a copycat league, man. So once you get some shit that's out there that's fire, you know what I mean, motherfuckers want to steal it. So you can't even run it. You run it one time in the game. Oh, now they know that you run that play too, so they kind of locked on, and then they shut that shit down. So you got to be able to have a little wrinkle off of the previous play that you ran.
Yes, I agree. I think that trendsetters is off of the players that have the most success at what they do, and what happens is people build off of that. All right, just offhand, thinking about players that's in the league right now. Anybody that you look at that's trending up? What teams in our league right now that you think, as coaches, they're trending up?
Man, I think that Bucks user, man, his team trending.
Yeah, I think we got to show him some love. He's definitely trending as a team right now. I think he took a big loss tonight against the Falcons. Got him at 3-2 at this point right now. But let's talk about it. Billy Osborne is on the block as well. He does have 1,314 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks, 65 completion percentage. I like him. I don't understand why he's trying to trade him, but whatever. Let's see where his mind is at. Look like he wants to go get him a fast quarterback. Noonan East in the backfield, 51 carries, 295 yards. He does have a running back average of 5.8 with a touchdown. It looks like he throw the ball more than he run at this point right now. Then when you look at receivers right now, let's talk about Najee Murray, man. I don't think we're giving this kid enough credit. This guy came out 2 drafts ago, right? The fastest receiver to come out the draft. We saw him week 1 with the old coach against King Falk, and he had 3 touchdowns in that game, where it was just like, I'm talking about Falk coming out of the game like, yo, got this receiver over here that I could not keep up with. Like, I'm talking about slant to the crib, and he guys there Simmons in the middle with that with receiver speed at middle linebacker. Then we're talking about seam routes, bombs, post routes, bombs to the crib, and then it just disappeared when you see it, which had all of us trying to grab these fast receivers that was coming out, right? So then we come back 2 seasons later, the coach got him right now, and Nazik Murray is playing at a high level. As fast as we are in our league with players, would you consider him a top three fastest receiver in the league?
Oh yeah, man, you got to, man, especially with the 99 acceleration. You know what I mean?
T
Yeah, the,
Black. Go ahead,
yeah.
boom, listening.
Oh nah, man, definitely, man. The 98 jumping at 5'9", he got 98 jumping. So shit, that put him at least 6 feet, 6'1", especially when he attacking passes. So yeah, man, he
Yeah.
gotta be. Yeah, he gotta be.
So we talked about it. You come out this. I turned it off. I turned it off. You talk. We talked about it. I don't, because it's hooked. I don't know why you got the earbuds hooked up to my phone. I guess from last time you let me get them. Because it's trying to do it right now. So when I hit audio, I gotta go speaker and not. There we go. My bad. You was in my girl earbuds. She's snapping right now. We in the middle of a real talk. What's up, coach? Yeah, you got the force, bro. Oh, I just because I forgot we had a new user over there. I thought it was still a computer game. Yeah, I seen that shit. I forgot that shit that fast though. Well, we hit that shit. Oh well. All right, my boy. Play your next game, Kurt. You heard? Hop on headset. We on headset. All right. All right. So boom, we talked about drafting speed out of the draft. So for example, you got MC Hammer Daddy who came out what, a 92 speed.
Yeah, 92.
He had that. He had what, 98, 99 speed about at this point, or not yet?
Nah, not yet. I think he like 90, what, 96 maybe.
All right, so it's a difference between drafting a
Yeah.
92 speed and developing into 97, 98 speed versus drafting a 96 speed, and that's that. So what I'm trying to say is this: when you draft a receiver that got any player that you draft out of the draft class that has 96 speed or above, they are the Tyreek Hills, the Henry Ruggs, the Hollywood Browns. When it comes down to offense, they are those type of players, right? So whether it's a running back or receiver, 96 speed is the threshold that you need to understand. You draft that 96 speed or above, that kid flying regardless. Now, you drafted Justin Thomas, 96 speed or above. At this point right now, when the league is fast and everybody got speed everywhere, how important it is that his 96 speed still feels like real 99 speed right now. When you're playing with him, how does he get behind coverages and stuff like that? Outside of you designing plays, it's pure speed, right?
Yeah.
You feel it when you play with him.
Oh no, you definitely can feel it. Yeah, man, he probably like the fastest person on my team. Man, Favors is pretty fast too.
So when we come back to a Nazik Murray and then a Tion Pitts, those type of, or White Mike, they came out with that speed. You got Joey Shelton, you got kids that came out with that speed yet, and we're not seeing them being used like the kids that are being used. Like we know White Mike is blazing. We see it every time the Ravens play. That guy's making big plays. But with Nazik Murray is doing exactly that right now as well with that type of speed. Now how much does the coach have to be able to scheme him open versus his pure speed just getting open right now at this point?
Man, it definitely some sleight of hand, man. You know what I mean? So you definitely got to scheme, man, to set them up, man, because a lot of people kind of they catching on to the one play tutties and shit. So
Right.
a lot of that shit's dead, man. No, like I said, man. I always say no disrespect, but the shit sound disrespectful. Like I think Falk kind of, made his money off of those. But I think with the speed of the game right now everybody got to play football and actually drive down the field, man, and depend on defenses to really kind of give more possessions to the offense.
Right. Right. And you can't waste down one try, one play tutty. You throw a pick or two. Next thing you know, the momentum is gone, and you're not seeing it. So we know pure speed is pure speed. We've seen Hollywood Brown blow the top off of defenses and in Baltimore, and now he's in Seattle and he's blowing the top off of defenses. So again, speed is speed. Look what Henry Ruggs has been doing from day one when Rich DeBarber is playing. What about Tyreek Hill at the age Tyreek Hill is right now? You go back to stats in NFL, I'm quite sure Tyreek is up there when it comes down to running by guys right now. He's still making big time catches. Look, Tyreek Hill, 18 catches, 640 yards, 35.6 yards on the average. He averaged 128. He has 11 touchdowns right now.
Yeah, them all
He
bombs.
yeah, they bombs. He running by people. When you look at averages, the guys that got I would say 10 or more catches right now. When you look at the guys that got 10 or more catches, Maurice Teller with 16 catches right now, he's averaging 40.2 yards a game. Now Maurice Teller is the exact prototype that I'm telling you about. This guy came out with 92 speed. He's up to a 98, 99 at this point. But he doesn't feel like a true 96, 97 speed guy. He's not the guy that I say is the fastest player, even though he might have that 98, 99 speed. It's weird because people don't realize the AI of this game, 96 speed or above, is blazing. So when you drafting that, you drafting speed for real. You get that, you can do some things with it. That's what you pretty much scheme around right now. Let's go back to that class. This was the second draft class. Maurice Teller, MC Hamadadi, Arsenio Monk, Big Baller Bennett. These receivers came out. We had a talk amongst them in their rookie year, and we said we want to come back a couple years later down the line right now. Out of these guys, Arsenio, Maurice, MC Hamadadi, and Big Baller Bennett, who would you say is having the best career right now?
Let's go look at, you said Monk, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Monk at?
He's on the Cardinals, so we'll go find the Cardinals and Arsenio Monk. He's been traded to the Cardinals. At this point, Arsenio Monk, let's dig in his numbers. Stat and career. All right, so since he's been in the league, 2021, this kid's been a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's been in the league. 1,200, I think his biggest output was 1,395. His biggest touchdown output was 18. He's done it more than once. 13, 18, 15, 14, 17, 18. Solid career.
Yeah, definitely solid.
Solid career, Hall of Fame career or solid career?
I think we talk about a solid career. I think you have to help your team contribute to wins and at least playoff wins.
All right, so that's Arsenio. Now let's go look at MC Hamadadi. All right, so MC Hamadadi, here we go. Let's go look at the stats. When it come down to yardage, and no one's going to be able to compare it to him, I think, outside of Big Baller Bennett. All right, so he had that 1996, 34 touchdowns in his rookie year, bro. He went bonkers, 90 catches. Then he had a year that no one's never going to break that record as of right now. 148 catches, 3,000. I mean, first of all, you broke the record of catches there, right? 148 in the season.
Now he won behind Michael Thomas, old guy.
Okay, so he's one behind Michael Thomas. 3,520. No one has that, right? That's your
nobody got that.
And 61 touchdowns in the season, one receiver. So then after that, he had a 2,000-yard season, and then he's been, I would say a 1,000-yard receiver after that. So 1,028, 12 touchdowns, 13, 18, 15 touchdowns. But then last year, what was the fall off here? 35 catches, 960, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it was Dustin and Favors. He started to take a back seat, man. I mean, it's more of a
Does he have, right now, if his career was over, is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh yeah, easy. And honestly, like the last 2 seasons, you can take a look at that and try to throw it out the window or try to add it. But if you actually go to career stats, I guarantee you, if you go to career stats, like proof is in the pudding. If you go to career stats for each and every receiver, he probably smashing everybody.
Let's go to it. Ain't nothing but to get to it. You feel me? Ain't nothing but to get to it. We got the stats right in front of us. Numbers don't lie. Men and women lie. Numbers don't. All right, so here we go. All right, so Reek been in the league forever, so a lot of his numbers is coming from seasons he's been in the league. But Henry Ruggs started off in 2020. Right now, 611 catches, 14,315 yards. He has 128 touchdowns. Right now, Henry Ruggs a Hall of Fame Game of Thrones player.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So Big Baller Bennett will be here with 519 catches, 12,264 yards, 170 touchdowns right now. Let me go because right now we're on catches. I think let's go to yards. Let's just go to yards. Go back to the yards. All right. So here we go. Henry Ruggs, And then there's Big Baller Bennett right here with 12,264, 170 touchdowns. Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah, definitely. He's still like the number one receiver. He been the number one receiver since he been over in the league over there.
Yeah, yeah, and the crazy thing is we only talking about half of the shit he does. Because that receiver, he's playing at a top level of receiver, top three receiver in the league.
Uh oh, nah, I can't put him in top three, man. I can't put him in top three.
You can't put him as a top three receiver.
Yeah, I can't put him there.
Where do you put him at as an overall playmaker, threat?
Man, he gotta be number one, man, for me.
Yeah, I agree. Number one threat in the league for sure. Because we didn't even get to the kick return and punt returns. This guy is dangerous with the ball.
Yeah.
All right, so we got DK Metcalf here, but we talking about that class, right? So now Christie's in that class right now. So here you go. We said Christie's Hall of Fame numbers. So how far we got to go down to find?
Just go to touchdown. Go to touchdown and sort it that way.
Touchdown. All right, we'll get a touchdown. All right, so Big Baller Bennett is one with 170. Christie second with 159. Now we looking for that class. Maurice Teller, here we go with 104. So Maurice Teller got 286 catches, 7,302 yards. Are they Hall of Fame numbers?
No, not yet, man. Not yet, but he got time though. He definitely got
still got
time. Well, right now, man, they would be. If you take an average of this is what he did in 6 years, and then just like kind of MC Hammer Daddy, because he had oh shit, I'm tripping. Nah, my bad. I think MC Hammer Daddy older than what he really is. Nah, the man Hall of Fame.
Nah, they both came out. They both came out the same year.
Yeah.
These not Hall of Fame numbers yet, and and a lot of it is due to the other two receivers that he had playing with him, which is Poppy Galloway and Hollywood Brown at the time. But no, he's 65 catches, 23 touchdowns as a rookie. He's 16. He's been a double-digit touchdown guy every year right now. But then last year he wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver last year. So that he did take a year where he didn't have 1,000 yards. Been a 1,000-yard receiver, but I think this is a great pro, not a Hall of Fame pro.
Oh yeah, but now you on the way though. Definitely.
Now, with that being said, he ain't going nowhere. We locked in with him. We trying to prove this year he's the best receiver in the league. Simple as that. The little young boy Dustin has something to say about that, but right now we working to make him the best receiver in the league. He's always been our number one receiver, but the way our offense is set up, everybody touches the ball all the time, so anybody can have a day. He's been going nuts. He's averaging 3 touchdowns a game right now. So he's going bonkers as well. The thing about him is it's hard because when you watch the Green Bay Packers throw the football, we know Big Baller Bennett is the guy. Period. Right? When you watch the Ravens throw the ball, I'm telling you, he's our best receiver. But yet, I don't even gotta say a name. I could just ask those that's watching right now that watch me play, who's the most standout receiver on the Baltimore Ravens team? I'm quite sure they're all going to scream the same thing when the types start coming in. When the types start coming in, without me saying names, they're going to say the name that's the most, most explosive guy that they see in our receiving game. But he's our number one threat. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player yet, and I think he has to have one of those seasons like you had, or Big Baller Bennett had, for him to be considered a Hall of Famer. He has to be able to do something that a lot of receivers has done in our league, which is catch the ball.
Oh no!
Lamar Jackson.
You saying Lamar Jackson better receiver? What the fuck?
No. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. He playing though. No,
it's coming in. He laughed. They said Lamar Jackson. It's coming in though. Here it goes. White Mike. White Mike. Let's go. Dog. T funny as hell. Oh my God. Goofy. He said Lamar the best receiver on the Ravens team. All right. So again, I think he got to have a 2,000-yard season, 20 to 30 touchdown season for him to even be considered as a Hall of Famer in the league. Or you think he don't have to have that? He just had to be consistently doing what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I think if he consistently doing what he's doing, man, by the time you retire and have one of those breakout games, one of them games that fucking you remember, like, oh shit, he had this game, or had multiple games, I think, especially in the playoffs, you know what I mean? I think he'll be alright, man.
That's how we can follow the guys. And we talked about this when they came out as rookies. We talked about that rookie class of receivers and following it right now. Now with that being said, Big Baller Ben is the number one receiver in that class, right?
Right.
Then it's MC Hammer Daddy, and then you'll say Maurice Teller, then Arsenio Monk.
Man, who next, man? I don't know. I just can't put Arsenio Monk there, only because I'm pretty sure it's possible that in most of those games Hitter was down, and some of those were trash touchdowns. You know what I
Dang.
mean? Like,
That's how you feel?
Nah, man. Hey, man. I call a spade, dog. You know me, man. That's real talk, ain't it?
It's real talk all the time. That's all we do. Real talk, baby.
Just making sure, you know what I mean? But yeah, so some of those were trash touchdowns. Like, I don't think that those touchdowns were him just dialing shit up. Like, yeah, he did dial shit up. I'm not saying he can't or he didn't. I'm just saying I think most of the touchdowns were him throwing the shit up, you know what I mean? Trying to come back. You know what I mean? But that's just me.
All right, so I hear you. Now, here's my question right now. We saw George Barkley get traded after winning the Super Bowl, after going ham, rushing for 300 and almost 60 yards in the Super Bowl, get traded to the Patriots. Didn't even stay for a full 2 games and was traded from the Patriots to the Giants. Let me ask you this question. Is his career over?
Nah, it ain't over. You know, I know people were talking about Barkley and, you know, I mean, like his T. Nah, man, fuck that. T, man, that was that running back, man. If T got down, hey, that running back special. That motherfucker hit the whole goddamn, like, no other running back that I seen, like, for real.
And you got to see Hillberger play with him, right?
Yeah.
And this is why you're saying that. You played Hillberger and he was doing some different shit. So T, you said T not special, the player was.
Man, the player, dog. That shit was crazy. I'm like, why the fuck you want doing this shit with Derrick Henry? You ain't got that 99 speed.
And that made a difference.
Man, shit, that speed, acceleration, yeah.
But Barkley's career is not over, is what you're saying.
Nah, it ain't over.
He doesn't have to have the numbers he had. He doesn't have to have the numbers he had with T. He doesn't have to. He just has to still be productive. I think if he can be a 1,000-yard rusher every year still from the rest of his career, then we talking about something right now. So in the league right now, carries right now. We want to talk about the guys that have been in the league already. So like the Barkley, Hines, McCaffrey, these guys touched the ball at a high level before we even got the 2020 season. But then when you get into the 2020, you got Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, George Barkley, Josh Jacobs, LaDainian Thomas, Miles Sanders, Marshall Faulk, Anthony Anders, Raphael Little. These guys are all carrying the ball at a high level. Let's look at who's doing what in a rushing game right now.
Hey,
all right, so Nyheim Hines.
Before you do that real quick, hey, did we find that third person to put in the Hall of Fame as a receiver?
From that class?
Yeah, from that
just
class.
Overall? From that class?
Yeah.
Nah. There's only 2 so far. Have you found a third one?
Man, listen, before I put Arsenio Monk there, dog, I'll put Marshall Faulk Jr. there, dog.
As a receiver, that shit crazy, bro. Oh my god.
Man, shit.
Oh my god.
Dead ass. That motherfucker goddamn. Okay, that motherfucker so many. Yeah, that nigga was balling though. But yeah, as you were.
So in the running back class, all right, in that running back class, we're looking at Nyheim Hines. We cannot ignore what Nano did with Nyheim Hines at all. Because Nyheim Hines' numbers ain't big, even though he played a couple seasons before the league started, and he got stats from that. His numbers ain't big without Nano being having him on that roster, right? So the guy got 168 touchdowns right now, 15,441. At this point, he's leading the NFL. All players that still remain in the Game of Thrones, he's leading that charge with 15,441 yards rushing. Barkley's right behind him. George Barkley, 14,811 yards. These Hall of Fame numbers. It's Nyheim Hines, Game of Thrones Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he Hall of Fame. In fact, didn't Nano go to the Super Bowl with Hines?
Nah, Nano made it to the FC Championship game more than once.
FC Championship? Okay, yeah, them Hall of Fame, yeah. Cause we know that's what he doing, man. He running the ball. You know what I mean?
But is Nyheim Hines special, or is it just the Patriots offense? Because look, they traded for Kyle Wallace in week 6, and he was a 2,000-yard rusher in week 6, and he missed the first 6 games touching the field at all. He comes in week 6 and still ends up with 2,000 yards rushing. So is it the system or was Naeem Hines that good?
It was. I think man, gotta both, man. I think you can't discredit Naeem Hines. You know what I mean? It's kind of like discrediting Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? If he went to
Yeah,
another coach,
yeah, I agree. I think Naeem Hines had a Hall of Fame career. The system played well for him, but Naeem Hines, I mean, anytime you're getting 33 carries a game, bro, you better do some things with it. And we saw him for 400 yards, 500 rushing yards. And I mean, big time numbers right now. Now George Barkley sitting here as a pure running back. Is this the best running back in the league?
Uh, I think off of stats, yeah, you gotta say he is. I don't know how Hero Burger's gonna have him. I just know that if Hero Burgers don't, if he's not rushing 1,500 yards with this dude a season, it's an issue.
Right. He should be a walking 1,500 with no problem right now. All right, so what makes Marshall Faulk dangerous? And he's in the conversation for best running back in the league.
I think he in the conversation of best dual threat running back, as in catching the ball and running the ball.
Right.
He's
So,
number
so we
one.
have to break it down like it would be in high school and college. So like in high school, to be All American, you would be, you get the running backs as All American, you get all purpose back or pure running back. So Barkley is the best pure running back in the league. Would you say that, or is Naeem Hines the best pure running back in the league?
Nah, I say Barkley.
I agree. I think Barkley's the best pure running back in the league. But then Marshall Faulk is the best all-purpose running back in the league. So that's a 1A, 1B. You know what I mean? In my opinion, both these guys are Hall of Fame players, right? So let's dig into the numbers on why we think George Barkley is a Hall of Famer at this point. If he retired, if he hung his cleats up right now, he's a Hall of Famer, right? So he had 2 seasons where he had 1,500 yards. After that, it's been 2,000 yards. He had that one breakout year, that special year, that put you on the map year, like MC Hammer that he had. That put you on the map year where you break all NFL records. And they're all we do is talk about this player. 259 carries, 3,321 rushing yards. He averaged 12.8 yards a carry, 57 rushing touchdowns, and in the process of that, he fumbled the ball 1 time. All those carries, all those yards, all those touchdowns, 1 fumble. That right there, to me, this season that put him into the Hall of Fame and put him in the question and put him in the conversation of best running back in the league. Then all he did behind that was follow it up with 38 touchdowns, 34 touchdowns. So in his career, he's never scored under 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Will that happen this year?
Uh, Shit, didn't he get most of them touchdowns that Hero Burger got with him already?
Yeah, Nano got him.
Oh,
T had 3 with him, and then I think Nano had then all the rest of them. I think how many times Hillboy scored with him? Once with you?
yeah, once.
Yeah, so between T and Nano, they got him to that 10 for the most part. But Ken Hillberger added another 10 touchdowns with him.
I think he can get 10. He can get 10.
He's already going to have 1,000 yards. He's 200 yards away from that shit for the most part right now.
He gonna get 10 off the muscle of what T did with him. He think he can do it with him too.
All right, so he got 6 Pro Bowl appearances. He led the league in rushing yards 4 times. He has a 2024 Most Valuable Player. He has a 2024 Offensive Player of the Year. He has Best Running Back in 2024, 25, and 26. His catalog is big. His trophy case is huge. He has a Super Bowl MVP. He might even have multiple Super Bowl MVPs. I'm not sure. I know he had the last one. The last one, he didn't get the MVP of the game, but man, actually I can't count it. They didn't give it to him. They gave it to a DB that scooped 2 fumbles up and a pick 6. So can't take that away from him, man. So George Barkley, but he's the reason why these guys was able to hold up the Lombardi Trophy the last time they held it up. Simple as that. This guy's Hall of Fame for sure. Game of Thrones Hall of Fame might go down as one of the best running backs we've ever saw in the history of us playing in any of my leagues, Real Draft and Game of Thrones. He's in that conversation. So then we look at Marshall Faulk's numbers as a Hall of Fame back, right? You look at stats and career. First of all, let's look at his stats as a running back. So 2,000 yards in his rookie year, 1626, 2000, 2000, 2000. He had 1509 last year. So everything's been 36, 20, 37, 30, 30, 18. So he's always had damn near 20 touchdowns every year. But what makes him special, again, is the all-purpose situation. So he's had 1,000 yards as a receiver every year except for one. 2021 he had 1,009, and he also, when you look at the hardware and the trophy cases, 6 Pro Bowl appearances, league leader in receptions 1 year. 21 he had most valuable player, offensive player of the year in 21, offensive rookie of the year in 21. He had best running back in 21, 22, and then he also won another MVP in 23. Is that right? Okay. Offensive player of the year in 23, best running back in 23, most valuable player again in 25. This guy had 3 most valuable players, MVPs. Wow. That trophy case huge, bro. Yep, let me see. Most valuable player in 21, most valuable player in 23, and most valuable player in 25. First ballot Hall of Fame, right? We're not skipping over him. The moment he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, he goes in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And we ever seen anybody do that with a running back like that? Throw the ball at a high level to him and run the ball at a high level with him?
Oh man, it was probably like a few Maddens ago, but no, not recently.
All right, so Jonathan Taylor, man. Jonathan Taylor, he's been a playoff guy. I don't think he has any. Let's see if he have any hardware.
It's hard to have anything.
3 Pro Bowls, and did he have Offensive Rookie of the Year 2020 and Best Running Back in 2020? So I mean, a little hard, little trophy case situation right now. I'm about to talk about my running back. I think Najee Israel is underrated and what he's been as a running back. I think he's a top 5 running back in the league. I just don't think he get used enough to be considered a top 5 running back in the league. What would you say when me saying that?
No, I can agree with that, man. Especially when, like you said, man, you normally have like two running backs, 3 plus Lamar. You know, I mean, when you use his legs, so it's hard to do that. Then you want to throw the ball around too, because you want to be balanced.
Right. I just think he's, we get to playoff football. Bottom line in the playoffs, outside of outside of George Barkley, bro, there hasn't been a more effective running back in the playoffs. Outside of George Barkley, and since he's been on my team, he's been when it comes down to playoff games, he's been he's averaging about 230 yards a game in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So we get to the playoffs, we go with the hot hand, and he's usually the hot hand at the end of the day. The rest of the backs get cleanup duty, but he gets the starting amount of carries. But is there any back that you played this year that we're not talking about? Because I can name one that I think that is very, very, very much underrated and the trendsetter of the league. He's one of the most trendsetting running backs of the league. So go ahead. Let me see if you have anybody that I'm not mentioning that you could think of.
Man, the only person I can think of is Bo Jackson, man.
And that's exactly what I was thinking of, Bo Jackson. You played him twice this season since he's been in the league, man. What makes him a guy that, like, I've heard you say out your mouth, I hope I hurt this motherfucker, I can't stand him. So let's talk about.
Yeah, man, just the combination, man, the speed and power, man. That's pretty much it, man. He take a hit, if he bounce off, man, he gone. Unless you have a safety, somebody else coming to, create contact from that second level. Everybody else running back, if you hit them, they gonna be stunned a little bit. Then that gives the linebackers a chance to come over and make the tackle. With him, if it's one-on-one and he break that tackle, 9 out of 10 he gone.
With that speed behind that power, when I say trend setting, it's because of this. He drafted that guy. Remember how many backs that came out that were power backs in our draft that just got ignored, sat on the bench, nobody developed them, they just sat there. None of them became anything. And he was the first to grab one and turn him into a player in the league. And that resulted into the next 3 draft classes of everybody grabbing power, big running backs, right? So that's trend setting. So you got to give him his props for that. But I remember in 20 we had remember Jason Voorhees, that middle linebacker, pitting people out. to like 5 people out. Remember how the conversation, the chat went off like this fucking guy on steroids, blah 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 blah. Like it was the talk. I saw that with Barkley. Barkley with Bo Jackson. I saw that. I watched the Falcons say something. I seen about 3 or 4 different people say something. We were talking about running backs, and he mentioned Jackson was the best running back in the league. Like we saw the chat kind of light up a little bit over this running back. So again, when you start seeing things like that, you know you have a trendsetting player. And not too many people can make a player look like that, or make a player grab a dog and make that dog a dog and make him a fixture name in the league right now. So again, do you think Barkley? Do you think Jackson where he at? He got to be somewhere around here. Let's look for him. I see Lamar Jackson up here in the run game. There you go, Bo Jackson. How many years has he been in the league?
4 years.
4. He's been 4 years strong right now. So 1405. So he's been 2,000 yards, and then 1578 last year. He's always had 20 plus touchdowns, except for last year it was 17, 8.2. Is he on his way to Hall of Fame?
I think it definitely depends on how he finished, man. I can only speak for when I played him, man. But he looked a little old, the last time I played him. So
talk about it, man. Do you think him drafting Jim Son Brown changed some things over there, or you just think that he's wearing down?
I think he's wearing down, man. I know he took a big injury last year that knocked him out of the game. But then the game we played the other day, man, 19 carries, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. That's kind of underachieving for him. Well, if you ask me. So I don't know, man. But then again, it's possible that he was just trying to, throw the ball around to his new weapon that he had also. But now Bo Jackson, man, he here to stay, man. You know what I mean?
You said he's here to stay, but you literally just said his tires is running.
I don't know, man. It could be either or. It could be either he getting too old, or he was trying to throw it to his receiver that he just got, Wiggins. I don't know, man. Time will tell. We play him again. I'm gonna make sure injuries on too. I'm gonna break his fucking legs.
Man, is that your heated rival? Who's your heated rival in the league?
Man, I don't know. I ain't gonna say that's my heated rival, man. Definitely a rival. Hero Burger's definitely with fucking Barkley now. Like, we got all the fucking running backs and shit over here now. Thank you.
Oh my god. So I would say Titans is one of my biggest rivals. I can't stand the Titans. Like it's real beef when we play on the field. And outside of the Titans, then I would go to the Steelers. Are the 2 teams that I would really look at and say that we're really a rival. Where you're gonna get a big game that can go either way with any of them. I say the Titans because the Titans literally, it's hard to play them when I play them. You know how everybody got that player they match up with that gives them a problem, and somebody else might put 90 up on them or 70 up on them, but for whatever reason I struggle with that person. That's what the Tennessee Titans do. From the moment they stepped on our logo in real life, made our rival go up. And then you go back to them having Eddie George Jr. and I'm having Ray Lewis Jr. on my team. That rival is back. So to me, that's my biggest rival because we've been playing where it counted the most in the playoffs. Out of the last 3 playoffs, we played in the wild card or the divisional round. So that's my rival. And then the Steelers has became a rival from day one. Honestly, we've always played close games. Like 4 seasons straight, our games will come down to the person that had the ball last, and the last possession usually wins. Simple as that. Then it became where it started becoming balanced to the point where, he would lose by a touchdown or lose by a point to him beating me now. So he became my rival for sure. I don't really see anybody else as a rival in the league outside of those 2. Now, who do you feel as though you can look at that same way?
Man, Hitter and Hero Burger don't beat me, man. I gotta look at a rival as somebody that I look to.
I thought you was building a rival with the Falcons. I thought y'all was building a rival.
Yeah, man. Till I find out, you know what I mean? Fucking cornerback gate and shit. You know what I mean? Motherfucker been cheating his whole fucking career and shit. He's on time of Game of Thrones. What the fuck? You gotta start paying attention. But I gotta say my rival gotta be T, man. Either T or Falk. T and Falk.
Okay.
I play Falk the most in the playoffs. I play both of them, T and Falk. So I gotta be done, man. Like I can't say that these guys are my rivals when I'm pretty much beating up on them all the time.
All right, so in the Packers rival, you had a stretch there where 70 points. Now, just because I'm saying 70 points been scored on you a whole lot in your rival for like 5 straight seasons, it was like a 70-point game. Didn't mean you wasn't putting up points as well. Talk about that. Talk about how that rival and then not winning that game, losing that game for a while, and then last year jumping back in front of it with the split. Y'all split. Y'all beat him 59, put up 59 points on him in the regular season, then lost to him big again in the playoffs. Talk about the rival and what makes that game a pain in the ass for you.
Man, the biggest thing is, man, I'm surprised. I don't know how many controllers he go through, man, but that motherfucker gotta, that motherfucker keep his hand on the fucking hit stick button, dog.
Oh my god.
And that's the shit that's the deciding factor in the game. Like I could be winning, and then he'll come around the corner and fucking hit the fuck up my running back, hit Hurts, make him fumble, and then his dude in the perfect position to scoop and score. You know what I mean, and put him back in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing, man. And then when Madden happened, you know, I kind of just fucking I try to stay in the game, but then that shit, I be like, fuck it, and start bombing that shit. Like with him, like I don't think nobody else beat me like that. I think I probably had one game like that against somebody else. I think Fault beat me like that maybe, but I don't see too many people beat me like that. That's the only person that I'll probably do that with.
All right, so now let's talk about you on King Fox rival, man. Y'all crew members, Hat Boy up, and y'all go at it, man. Y'all been going at it since season one, especially being in the same conference. Y'all literally go at it in the regular season and in the playoffs every year, man. Talk about the importance of that rival and what makes it annoying for you.
I can't even say that playing Fault is annoying because I know what Fault gonna do, and he's so good at what he does, like it works. But I do certain things that I do, Fault can't stop also. So anytime me and Fault play is always a good game. I would rather play Fault fucking damn near 16 times like a year than play some of these motherfuckers. Cause I don't know, like they offense is just like, you know what they gonna do, man. But people want to call my offense like gimmicky and shit. But a lot of motherfuckers got gimmick offenses.
So I'm gonna say this because when I talk about the rivals right now, what game who you play in the league that you enjoy playing because you know you get a pure football game. Mine is the Chargers. Every time me and Corey play, it's flat out chess match, scheming, playmakers, and football. Do you get anybody that you play that's like that you feel like that?
Fault. Yeah, Fault definitely,
Fault,
man. Yeah.
And talk about how important that is, playing a video game and being able to get a real football feel while you're playing a game versus playing a glitchy arcade playing type player.
So man, when I'm playing Fault, man, I know I can just sit back and actually, you know, play the game, man. I ain't gotta worry about winning or losing. I just know that fucking Madden gonna happen, but I ain't gotta worry about no other bullshit happening. Like I ain't gotta worry about Hero Burgers fucking coming out in the monster and shit, and fucking, you know, hoping that my phone don't fucking ring and I'm not paying attention or some shit. I ain't gotta worry about T fucking running stretch with Barkley, you know what I mean, doing some shit. Then I gotta come down with my safety and try to play Barkley, and then the motherfucker hit me with Bennett on the post, on the post in the I formation. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. I ain't got to worry about none of that shit. It's just,
right.
Shit. Either your player better than mine or my player better than yours.
All right. So again, in the conversation of that, like when me and Corey play, that's exactly what we get. Like I enjoy the fact that I gotta play. I gotta know the coverage I'm in. I gotta understand what he's trying to do, and we gotta play the chess game and try to stop the things that he's trying to do. Versus picking up the sticks against some of these players where it's just like it's the same old shit over and over again, and you're not beating me or playing a good game with me because you are playing a football game. You're playing a good game with me because you're playing against the AI of the game. Which is to me is annoying. You don't like to play it, but you can't ignore those type of players because some of them are very good at what they do. But we back at the same question, man. When you get in the ball game and you play a guy, what are your intangibles? Like, what do you look at to be able to be successful to come out with the dub?
Man, you always looking at the matchups, man. If you don't go and look at matchups before you play, then you're an idiot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Circle Boy, he got pissed off to my I was roster watching. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I go look at fucking your cornerbacks, who you got in your depth chart. Oh, that motherfucker 90 speed? Yep. That nigga number 24? Yep. We going at him all fucking game. Let your ass be
And
cover three. Shit.
that's important, man. That's like real life football. You gotta know who you playing before I play Albert. I look at the matchups. You gotta understand who you playing. And you gotta understand what they got on their own team, what they got. You can't just go into a game. I mean, you can go into a game butt naked and then just play it. And we've done that a whole lot where we wasn't looking at rosters, we didn't care who was playing. We just play, and they did their homework, and you wonder why the game was a little tight, or they even still want to beat you because you ain't do yours, man. I think at this point, when it comes down to scheme over team, you have to be able to look at who you playing. So what do you say when you know you matching up when you walk out and you play a Hero Burgers who has a 99 overall team as well as your 99 overall team? And there's really no holes on his defense or offense versus no holes in your offense and defense. What do you say to those guys that you know they are walking 70, 80 burger, and all of a sudden the games become tough? What's your likes and dislikes about that? Because that's all about what the players look like. Period.
Yeah, so, and I know you say just because you're 99 ain't no hoes. There's always hoes on the field. You know what I mean? You just got to find
Right.
them, and you just got to exploit that
Right.
player. You know, make it be a defensive end with a weak ass block shed or something. You know what I mean? Maybe you got to double team that motherfucker to get to the edge or something.
Right.
Uh, but I don't know, man. What do I say to a player, man? Like, pretty much you got to stick to what you know, man. Don't be trying to be fancy. Don't try to fucking get into the game to try to practice shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to practice on here for a reason. You know what I mean? Get into practice and practice before you get into the game, man. If it's gonna be like that, man, don't try to bring no new gimmicks, no fucking YouTube shit, no one play tutties into the game, and you ain't even practice the shit in practice.
Right.
Just stick to what you know, man, and definitely run the ball, man. This man, you gotta run the ball. If not, motherfuckers just gonna back their players up and wait for you to throw
Simple as
picks.
that.
You know what I
And
mean?
wait for you to throw picks, and next thing you know, momentum unsprung, and you can't do shit. Now, let's talk about the run game, Boone. When opponents play you, they want to run the ball. Bottom line, they want to run the ball on you. And tell me what your struggles are with running the ball, or why do you struggle against the run?
I think I struggle. So a lot of people use their safeties when
Mm-hmm.
they running the ball. I mean, when they stopping the run. I like playing on my linebacker. I
Right.
can play on my safety. I can play on my cornerback. I can play on whoever I want to play on. But it just so happened that for some reason, I don't know, and it's not just my team. The left side weak as fuck. No matter where you, and normally that's the
No
pass
matter who
blocking
you
side,
play.
right? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
pass blocking
Yeah.
side. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense, but still, I can have a motherfucking 99 out, and he's still getting blown by or getting knocked over or some shit. So I think I just have to kind of move my players around a little bit more. I've been playing to run a little bit better. It's just sometimes I give up shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes you gonna give up shit, man. It's nowhere around it. Um, but I think this year I would definitely play the run a lot better.
So, Boone, you had a very successful year as a GM. You had a very successful year in winning the Super Bowl in year one. Um, and then we picked you apart. We talked about, look, what are you gonna do with these old players when they leave? How you gonna manage this and that? We'll talk about your transition from that Super Bowl winning team and then having a really good run with them for 2 to 3 seasons after that. And then after that, you had a little patchy fight to get back, changing your roster up a little bit. But you fought from a negative cap with no help, from a negative cap, and really couldn't trade. You damn near had the less amount of players on your team. When people can have 53, you were stuck somewhere around 30 something, 32, 33 players. You didn't have backups at certain positions. You ain't bitch. You ain't come to me ask for help. You ain't do none of that. You fought through all that. Talk about that transition on how you was able to do exactly that to get out of that hole you was in, because you was in a huge hole at one point. At one point, you had negative 64 million in cap space. How did you fight to get out of that and get your team back to the level of playing field right now where you at right now?
Oh man, just development, man. Player development is big, man. Not just in real life, but on the game also. And then just developing players, and that was the big reason why I was able to get out of it. I wish I would have. created a regular coach, man, my own coach, man, then I can actually see the win percentages and shit
Mm-hmm.
of how many wins. But yeah, we didn't do that. So, but yeah, that's all it is, man. Just player development, man.
All right, so let's talk about greatness and building teams, right? So we had an argument in chat, and they talked about the Cardinals team being one of the top teams to play with in football on Madden. Do you agree with that? From the start, if we start a league right now, is the Cardinals one of the top teams to play with?
I say the top 15.
You say the Cardinals team is a top 15 team to play with?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's my argument. The Ravens, what would you say they are?
I say the top. Well, that's not fair because it's my style. These are my style of teams that I would play with and be successful with. So that's why I don't think that would be a fair question for me. I can't say I'm being objective when I say it, but I'm only speaking from my point of view.
If you're not you and you're looking from the other 31 members in the league, if you're looking at not you and how you look at things, try to go into the mind of other 31 players.
Oh well, shit. If that's
they
the
get
case,
a Raven. Look, somebody get the Ravens. Let's say like me, I get the Ravens. Are they a Super Bowl team the moment I step on the field with them?
Probably not.
In franchise mode,
it's possible. Definitely, depending on who you playing, who you going against in the AFC. But
so my question again is the Cardinals. Because listen, I got the Cardinals as one of the top 5 worst teams to play with in franchise mode to start with. But they're a great team to build, but they're one of the top 5 worst teams to play with to start off in franchise mode. Who do they have? Because listen, as great as D-Hop is he a Madden player?
Shit, he is nah. Shit.
What makes him a Madden player?
Shit, the upgrade that he got from fucking balling this season.
Yeah, I didn't see the upgrade on him, but when you started the league off, does he have the tangibles you look at for a great receiver? Like,
no, not right now. No,
right.
not right now.
All right, so what makes them good is the 2 pieces you want to play with is Kyler Murray and Isaiah Simmons, right?
Yeah, they got some other pieces. Pat P still decent. They got pieces.
These not guys that you looking to go forward with when you get those guys. Like they're not like Pat P ain't like getting it's not like getting Gilmore or Ramsey or you know what I'm saying. Like Pat P isn't as great of a player he is in real life. He isn't a Madden player. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, we had that. What's the one player that played safety?
Where?
He probably was like a 60 overall since Madden 17. He's probably like a 60-something overall. But at safety, he had 93 speed, 93 excel, and like almost 90 power. Okay, there you go, Ballantyne. Now, in real life, Ballantyne does nothing, nowhere. Probably don't even have a TV plan on right now, right? But in the game, in Madden, he's one of the top players to go get. You get where I'm going at right now with this? Like, when you're looking at Madden teams to play with, Madden teams, I think the Cardinals is ranked amongst the worst 15 because they don't have pieces. Like even with the Ravens, they come in with a high overall because of what they done in real life, and Lamar's the cover boy. But outside of that, who they don't have no safeties. They're linebackers. You can build with them with the linebacker and middle linebackers. But that's it. You can't really do shit with Judon. As good as Judon is in real life, how good of a Madden player is he really? You got to put his hand in the dirt. You can't drop out to cover the pass. Like again, your best D lineman is going to retire after year 1, or possibly year 2. You can keep him till. So what makes the Ravens? You know what I'm saying? Look, Mark Ingram ain't a great Madden player to play with. You know what I'm trying to say, or not?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to you.
No, I get you.
Like I said, the whole visitors with me to the bathroom. Fuck that. Let's go. But go ahead. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, no, I get you, man. I just can't. I can't think for the other players because I look at the team and I feel like that I would like to play with these teams opposed to playing with some other teams.
Like Washington football team went from one of the top 5 worst teams to play with to one of the top teams to play with because of their youth and what they got on that front 4 up front. And then you look at the team, you look at, everybody wants something. You got to have speed. That's the one thing. And then it has to be age and who you can build, right? So when you're looking at these teams from the start, and this is for real, this is going into the real draft. When you grab these teams, you look at some teams from the start. Does the teams like the Chiefs is undeniable, right? All the way across the board, they one of the, if not the best team to play with on the game.
Yeah.
They undeniable. You can win with the Chiefs for the first 3 seasons easy, with no problem, and still have youth on the team, enough youth to be able to still carry you through the whole dish without even making a trade. I'm back to the Cardinals again because I wonder. I'm going somewhere with this. You played him in year one. Did you the struggles? So the struggles that we saw the Cardinals go through, where they couldn't stop a soul on defense. I think this the transition of building the team. How long did you really think it was going to take for King Falk to take that Cardinal team and make it one of the most dominant teams in the league?
About a season, man. Season and a half. That's what I thought.
Right. I don't know. You just sent that for. Oh, okay. All right. So when you grab a team, so when you saw that Eagles team, what was your attraction to that Eagles team? Because you blew that team up fast, but what was your attraction to it?
Just Jalen Hurts, pretty much.
At the end of the day, the player you like, the type of player you like to play with that quarterback was your attraction to it.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles came in the game where I would say are one of the top 3 fastest teams in the league. I'm gonna go like this. You tell me if I'm wrong. Chiefs are the fastest team in the game. Then it's the Panthers, and then I say it's the Eagles. Right now, even if you started the season right now, the fastest 3 teams in the game are Chiefs in order. Panthers, then the Eagles. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, you go to.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, at quarterback, they got one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. At running back, Miles Sanders is top speed running back in the league, right? At receiver, not only did they have the old heads that were flying with D-Jack, and then the Godwin, whatever his name was, Goodwin guy, and then you had the rookies. Those 3 rookie receivers were all flying too. They were 93 and above. With Rieger, Watkins, and Hightower. They all had 90 plus speed coming in, right? And then you got those rookie linebackers on the Eagles team that all were 88 speed across the board. All those linebackers, they were rookies. You didn't keep none of them really around. Davion Taylor, Sean Bradley. It was like 1 or 2 more. I can't remember though. But again, you took that team, you blew it up. You put veteran presence around. You had veteran presence at receiver and all that good stuff, but you put a veteran defense. What was the mindset for you to take that team and realize a Gilmore, who was the linebacker you got again? Khalil Mack,
CJ Mosley,
Gilmore, and CJ Mosley will be the pieces that will take you to a Super Bowl in year 1.
Oh man, any defense, man, you definitely need a strong middle linebacker. You know what I mean? I think any team that you've seen, man, win, man, they had a strong middle linebacker and that shutdown safety and a pretty decent pass rusher.
Right. Now, when you lost those threats, those 3 pieces that you had, when you lost those threats, how did you see yourself replacing it? Because for a while you replaced it with the cornerback safety Macklin, and then you just had a run. It was like 3 seasons in a row you drafted corners and made those guys dogs right away. So do you feel like you built your back end back up to the level it was year 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah. No, we back to what we need to be.
And then at the linebacker level, we still see Sean Bradley running around making plays for you. The one rookie you kept. We see what's the kid name? Putting bounties out on all you. You see him balling out at linebacker right now. But who became your usual linebacker? The guy that that was the Mosley guy.
Yeah, I still use Bradley a lot. Yeah, I still use him, but I use Moss a little bit too.
Now, how hard was it to be able to play games where you couldn't really do nothing with your roster? Like, you literally had to play with the draft picks, and that was it. You couldn't really go on free agency. You couldn't really do anything to better your team. You had to play pure with what you had because of your GM decisions for the first season. Led you from season, I would say 3, 4, and 5, where you really had to just fuck, I'm just stuck playing what I'm playing, and you still won and made the playoff and was a threat in the playoff.
Well, well, at the beginning of that year, man, I was kind of screwed anyways because of the decisions that the Eagles made in real life.
Real life, yeah.
What I mean, with Hargraves and Malik Jackson, they gave them big contracts. So I had to pretty much cut my roster down to like 35 players and shit. What I mean, to make cap for those trades. What I mean, because at the beginning we wasn't moving shit around, we wasn't clearing cap and shit. So
Right.
yeah, so yeah, I had to bust my team down to 35 players just to get those guys to come in. So I knew by getting those guys, they would give me at least 3 to 5 seasons, so that'll give me a chance to develop those players. And by me being able to shut down one side of the field with Gilmore and then pass rush on the other side, from the other side, and then play in the middle with C.J. Mosley, that would give me time to kind of build those other players around those guys.
Now, do you feel like that's the type of team you have to this day, where you can shut down one side of the field, or do you feel like it's complete more now, where you have it, all four DBs in the secondary are shut down, even the slot corners, and then the pass rush can come because you got the pass rush up front too. You got the big boy number 99, and you got the kid Martin. What was his name? Martin something. At D tackle that you move all over the D line as well.
Oh yeah, McKenzie.
Martin McKenzie, yeah. We're having these pieces right now. Do you think this Eagles team is built better than it was on the Super Bowl run?
Yeah, it's definitely better, man. But you can never replace Gilmore or Mac.
Yeah.
But I think we did pretty good with drafting those players.
No doubt, no doubt. State of mind going forward.